Hey everybody, my name is Trent Short and I will be starting things off for our group project. The other members of my group are Riley Rudio, Christy Struber, Eli Truey, and Josh Anderson. I just started out because I did our company research log, so just kind of wanted to get things kicked off and yeah, hope you guys enjoy our presentation. So starting out with our introduction to our product, so we decided to come up with the name Zumi Chunks. So the reason we came up with this name is because Zoomies are often something that's associated or incorporated with a dog having a lot of high energy or a lot of happy emotions. So Zumi Chunks are what we want to get out of that, or the message that we want to get out of people as far as wanting to get that energy and that happy feeling into your dog throughout the course of while it's enjoying its meal, and then after the dog is enjoying the meal as well too. So moving on to our second point here is our licensing info. So we did have to purchase two different separate licenses. So the first one was our Kansas Department of Agriculture license, which was a state license that we had to purchase, and then our second one being a state of Kansas LLC filing, which was a more of a business license that we had to purchase as well too. So again, kind of differentiating the two. The first one being a state license that we have to purchase, a yearly purchase, and then the business licensing or the LLC filing license, which was a business one that we only have to purchase that one time. So moving on to our next point here is our nutritional needs. So this is what we found that we wanted our product or our dog food to collaborate into I guess the the best healthy, or not necessarily healthy, but the best nutritional value for the dog as well too. So touching on first our carbohydrates and our grains, that's going to help the dog get its energy and the need for those zoomies to kind of come out, whether they come out early in the morning, late at night, whatever the case may be. So those carbohydrates are going to help get that energy up within the dog. And the vitamins, those are going to help boost the immune system of the dog, improve their health on their coat and their skin, and as well help improve their digestive system as well too. So making sure all of their bodily functions are doing what they're supposed to. Then specifically moving on into our water, or to putting in water into our food as well too, gets the dog the ability to move those essential nutrients in and out of their body. So that's obviously really important for the digestive part that we were talking about within the vitamins. So that water kind of helps with the flow of that as well too. So, and then as well, the water helps with joint lubrication, so helping make sure those dogs' joints and muscles are nice and loose. That way they can get those zoomies that they need and want at all times, or whenever they, like I said, whenever those those zoomies feel like they need to come in. Next is our minerals. So that helps keeps their bones and their teeth strong, as well as the fats kind of feeling that muscular system too. So having a good balance of making sure that their digestive system is adequately functioning properly, making sure that their water intake is high, at a good high level. Obviously they're going to drink water, but making sure that water intake comes into play as well too, whether they're drinking water or they're not. And then making sure that all of their bones and muscular system are staying strong and healthy as well too. So we feel like that would be a good balance of all of the product here. Touching on our next point is our recipes. So we decided to come up with 4 different recipes. Obviously, as you can see here, we came up with a beef and vegetable, a chicken and rice with mixed vegetables, turkey and potatoes, and lamb and potatoes. So really good balance here of good source of protein and then a good source of vegetable here as well too. So obviously those kind of tie in to all 5 of those components that we listed before in that last slide. So I guess kind of diving more in deep, or going more in depth with our beef and vegetable recipe. That's just gonna have beef broth, and beef liver as well too, as mixed within vegetables. So we're gonna have carrots, peas, rice, and sweet potatoes. So that is what we feel like is going to be our winner here. Our big product as far as the good balance of, I guess we listed almost 3 to 4 vegetables there, and then a good source of beef and protein as well too. So, and then our number 2 product here is our chicken and rice with mixed vegetables as well. So that's going to have some ground chicken, brown rice, and then mixed vegetables being carrots and peas. And then next, our next product is turkey and potatoes. So more specifically going into that is our ground turkey, our bone broth and sweet potato. And then lastly, our lamb and potatoes, which is going to have real lamb, gravy, and then also sweet potatoes as well too. So again, getting good combination of all 5 of those components that we felt were necessary for the products or products. So going more specifically into our packaging and our business model of how we want things to look. So as far as packaging and pricing goes, we're going to have our packaging in up to 4 cans into 1 package, coming out to about $32 plus tax as well. And then obviously we will sell individual cans as well too, because some people might not want to buy just 4 cans or all 4 cans. So if they do decide to buy just 1 can, we're going to sell it for $10.50 plus tax as well too. So delivered order description, what that basically means is there's going to be a $5 upcharge if someone does decide to buy a can online, just because we're kind of touching a little bit more info, just a little bit here as far as what we're gonna, how we're gonna process the food, how we're gonna package the food and stuff like that. So one of the things that you're gonna see is that we do use dry ice, so obviously that adds up and costs money, so we do have to see profit at the end of the day. So within that, we're just going to charge a $5 upcharge if somebody does just order 1 can as well too, which kind of goes into our next point as far as pricing incentives. So let's say, oh, somebody's like, man, I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to just buy 1 just because there's a $5 upcharge. I'm going to be spending $15 at this point. So now what that's going to do is going to be like, well, I'm already halfway to $32 or close to halfway to $32. Might as well just get 4. So that kind of brings in the upcharge of sales there as well. We're going to also, if somebody does purchase an order of $150 or more, we are going to end up deciding to purchase or to waive all shipping fees for them as well too. So those are kind of what those pricing incentives look like, and then kind of preparation for food, which we're going to touch on in just a second here, I guess more specifically, but just to kind of touch on it just a little bit here is we're going to mainly have some dry ice in a styrofoam container there, and what that's going to do is going to keep the food fresh, preserved, and ready to eat, or not necessarily right and ready to eat, but mainly fresh and preserved and sealed, so that way the dog is eating a good, healthy, freshly prepared meal. So as you can see in these pictures, hopefully you guys can see these all right. Up top is our sealer, vacuum sealer, what we're going to seal the food in before it gets canned up. And then also in those 12-ounce cans, and here's our sealer rollers. Then, more specifically going into the things, here's what our label maker is going to look like, and our label paper. So this is just kind of some of the equipment that we would be utilizing throughout this. And then again, here's some of what I was talking about earlier, some of that dry ice and the packaging, the styrofoam packaging, depending on the size of the order. But here is kind of just a gist of what everything is going to look like here. Then touching more on to our competitors. So exposure to our private label store brands. So what we're going to do there, or kind of what we were all thinking here, is going into or looking into the competitors and seeing kind of what areas are they not attacking, what areas are they strongly attacking, and kind of going from there. So obviously starting out is going to be a little harder for any brand, whether it be food, dog food, anything, shoe brand, you name it. It's going to be hard. So kind of researching and seeing what are the big dogs in this company, where are they located at, and where are they not located. So like maybe going into some of those areas where they're not really highly populated in, and then kind of starting out there, and then kind of easing our way into some of those areas where they might be they might have majority of their sales, and then hopefully kind of easing our way in, easing that brand name of Zumi Chunks in. And then obviously another factor of competitor info is the fluctuation of pet ownership. So I guess you could say, kind of tying into that fact, is what areas have pets, all, or more specifically dogs, what areas have dogs, and what states or cities don't have dogs, I guess. So just kind of researching and figuring out what value, or what states and cities value pet ownership more. And then obviously influence is derived from human nutrition. So a lot of people, like, I don't know about you, but I know a lot, I mean, I'm a dog owner myself. I can be a little bit crazy about my dog. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I kind of want my dog to I want to make sure my dog is eating the best nutritional value, or having the best nutritional value as possible. That way my dog lives a long, happy, healthy life. So with that being said, obviously our recipes are more, I guess, human-based meals, but making sure that we're touching into the second point here of having safe, healthy foods so that they can get that nutritional value or those dietary benefits that we listed in that very first slide there as well too. So making sure that they get that human-based meal, but also obviously making sure it's more beneficial for the dog as well. And then lastly, touching on our competitors. So as you can see nationally, Mars Incorporated, Nestle Purina Pet Food, Colgate Palmolive, sorry, J.M. Smucker Company, and Diamond Pet Foods are kind of some of those companies that we're going to look at competing with nationally. And then more specifically speaking, locally in the Missouri, Kansas, or I guess you could say the Midwest region, we're looking at competing with Hills Pet Nutrition and Big Heart Pet Brands. So again, making sure that we can stay up to date on the trending topics of where people are owning pets, where people aren't owning pets, and then kind of what some of these nationally ranked companies are doing and what they aren't doing as well too. So thank you for listening to my part of the presentation. These are my references, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the presentation for the rest of my group. Thank you.
Typically, there are several steps that need to be completed to successfully bring a product into the market. First, the idea of Zumi Chunks needs to be evaluated. The idea behind the product is to bring into market a quality organic dog food product that is safe and nutritionally balanced for the customer's dog. The good news is this idea has been fully vetted by current competitors, and the idea has not only proven successful, but profitable. The challenge we face at Zumi Chunks is how to compete with successful gourmet dog food companies who have accomplished successful online ventures and a robust store presence. We will accomplish this by developing first 4 successful prototype recipes of beef, chicken, turkey, and lamb, all with associated and mixed vegetables. This will be followed by the development of a social media presence that will be at the root of the marketing campaign. The use of platforms such as Facebook will allow Zumi Chunks a relatively cheap marketing option that can reach a large target audience. The company will use every opportunity to have a presence in the local community by attending farmers markets, fairs, and any pet symposiums that are within reasonable driving distance from home production. Working with local veterinarian clinics, Zumi Chunks will acquire several small refrigerators and place the product in highly visible areas. Associated with the markets, fairs, and symposiums, as well as the veterinarian clinics, will be small marketing posters and business cards with the website so that customers may know where to go to order the product. Who are our customers, and how will we develop that customer base? The target market already exists, and that is the average pet owner or owners. This has occurred because of the humanization of pets that has increased significantly within the last 20 years. There are customers out there. You just need to make them Zumi Chunk customers. Initially, our target audience will be those with more of a disposable income, as well as customers who buy organic foods themselves. Statistically speaking, if customers buy organic foods themselves, they are more likely to purchase organic dog food. To succeed, Zumi Chunks will need to build a customer base through smart marketing campaign to the local community and partnerships with the local animal shelters and veterinarian clinics, as well as the utilization of online platforms. The customer base for organic dog food is already established and built. In fact, organic pet foods are one of the products that has been recession-proof in the current trend of rising inflation and economic downturn. The current global organic pet food market is expected to reach $24.4 billion by 2028, rising at a growth rate of 4.6% per year. That is according to Global News Wire. This is driven by growing humanization of pets, as stated before, and the fact that while the economy may be on a downturn, people are more likely to go without rather than having their pets go without. The customer base is there. And again, Zumi Chunks will just need to be smart and have a smart marketing strategy that is cost effective to capture even just a small portion of the already established customer base. Customer development must start at the lowest level. This means selling the product at the local level to friends, family, and as stated before, veterinarian clinics, farmer markets, and fairs, and building that consumer base that is robust enough to spread the word. Furthermore, an online presence through social media platforms must be used. The utilization of free advertising must be made and used at every opportunity, such as flyers at dog parks, and again, those business cards and posters at the veterinary clinic. At the end of the day, though, the quality of Zumi Chunks must first and foremost be at the front to develop a loyal customer base. If the product is not of the highest quality, customers will most likely not be long-term. The company must use techniques such as exit surveys to capture sustains and improves, and not be afraid to make the necessary changes to help the company and its customer base grow. We must take every opportunity to make the customer feel as if they have a voice, because more and more people are viewing pets as family members rather than creatures that just serve a purpose. With the knowledge that people care for their pets like they are their own children, having a simple ingredient list with easy to read items that is recognizable will be key. How much will it cost, and the pricing strategy? Zumi Chunks must remain as competitive as possible. Zumi Chunks will be selling for approximately $10.50 for a 12-ounce bag of dog food. Competitors are selling for around $3 to $9 per can of that same 12-ounce variety. Zumi Chunks is then selling for up to 3 times more than the competitive dog food companies. So how are we going to combat this? Zumi Chunks will need to run an effective marketing campaign to push the higher quality of our dog food, as well as previously stated, pushing the product to the local community that this dog food was made locally by people in your community from products within your community. Zumi Chunks must be smart in the cost savings of producing the product to help with the potential of selling less due to the difference in pricing. So how are we going to drive profitability? Generally, there are 4 ways to help drive profitability: reduce the cost, increase the turnover, increase productivity, and increase efficiency. And I'll discuss how we're going to do that in detail with Zumi Chunks. So reducing costs will include things such as utilization of a personal kitchen, utilizing a low-cost marketing strategy such as social media platforms, and sourcing high-quality ingredients from wholesaler markets and local butcher shops. Turnover will need to be increased by developing smaller portions of the product to stock refrigerators at the local veterinarian clinics, fairs, symposiums, etc. And then we will need to have an online presence that will be made to order business. So online, once an order is placed or several orders are placed, the product will be made. This will ensure that there is no delta or difference of the products just sitting around to limit the waste and increase product turnover. Increasing productivity is tied into marketing campaigns that will build a loyal customer base, followed by the development of an online customer base. And finally, increasing efficiency will be done through the previous steps. How will we source our ingredients? Zumi Chunks must think outside of the box in order to save costs, for 1, being a startup, and 2, potentially selling less at the beginning of the business. The meat products and byproducts such as blood, bones, organ meat, soft tissues, and marrow will be sourced from local butcher shops. This has a 2-fold approach to our business model. First, it will save costs. Almost all local butcher shops have a large quantity of meat and byproducts on hand that is usable but has a set shelf life. Or they have all those products that are unusable such as some organ meat and soft tissues, the bones, the blood, and the marrow. And all these are sold at a wholesale or reduced price. When I contacted the local butcher shop here, Smoky River Meats, they told me that the sale of the above products sold for pennies on the dollar or extremely reduced price because it eliminated waste. Some products can be acquired online at a lower price than in stores. These products are the vitamins, gelatins, minerals, fats, and acids. Finally, we'll use wholesale markets to buy the fresh produce, grains, and certain meat products that we'll be unable to source from the local butcher shops. Who will produce the product and what liability may we face? To ensure success, Zumi Chunks will be made by ourselves in our local kitchen with the hope to expand to more employees in the future. What liability may we face? There's a lot of liability out there, so that is why companies need insurance. The insurance that we will secure is commercial general liability insurance. This insurance protects us and our employees in case our product causes damage to a third party. That damage includes property damage and bodily injury, to include somebody's pet.
Area of tremendous challenge, but also tremendous opportunity. A product like organic dog food that is so niche can be sold at a high price point, and the ingredients for it are not necessarily the most expensive, or at least they don't have to be if you do a good job of vetting out where you're getting your product or your ingredients from. And so in this area, or in production, Zumi Chunks really thinks that we're going to be able to take a step forwards and create viability for ourselves in terms of cash flow. The first thing that needs to be addressed when we're looking at production is the facilities within which we're going to be making our product. Right now, Zumi Chunks does not have a huge budget, and we can't get an industrial kitchen space or the equipment that would be necessary to fill it. So we are going to have to be working out of a home kitchen. There are a lot of limitations that come along with this, things like oven space, space for storage of ingredients, and a lot of other challenges that are similar to that. It's just not what the space is designed for. And so some of the solutions that we're going to have to come up with when we're actually producing the food are going to be centered around that. Looking at a traditional home oven, which will probably be one of our main ways of actually cooking the food and making sure that it's safe to be consumed by, living creatures. So looking at the size of that oven, it's probably going to be most efficient or easiest for us if we're able to fit, a couple of different recipes in there cooking at the same time. A great way that we can keep them separate but still be able to produce multiple recipes at once would be to use something like a Dutch oven. Dutch ovens are really nice because they help retain flavor, and so with each batch of that recipe that you create, it would become more flavorful, and it might actually improve the product over time. Dutch ovens right now, looking at somewhere between a 5 and a 6 quart Dutch oven for us to produce a single batch of one of our recipes. Looking at Amazon, you can look at different manufacturers on Amazon. Typically they're going to be below $50 or $60. So we're not looking at a huge upfront cost in terms of that piece of equipment, but again, it is something that has to be considered while we're moving forwards. If we can start with probably 2 to 4 Dutch ovens, that way we have enough to start producing the product, and we can start making some of the revenue back, or make back some of the invested money, and then continue to produce the other recipes. If we're trying to start with all 4 of our recipes, we're definitely going to go with the 4 Dutch ovens. That way we can have 2 recipes cooking at a time within our oven, and we can just help keep that process as efficient as possible. Other things that we're going to need to get, we have to have some kind of a freezer storage space. Unfortunately, a home freezer is not going to be large enough, especially if it's being shared with the needs of the family within that home. And so we're going to have to get ourselves a freezer. Looking at some of our options, looking at Sears, Lowe's, things like that, you can get financing options on something that would work for our needs, less than $50 a month. Again, trying to keep our costs down, especially while we're a young company, because we don't have large investments to rely on, to take these upfront costs, and we don't have a ton of, traction within the market yet, because again, we are a brand new company. And so, financing that would be a great option for us as a company. Again, like I said, trying to keep those costs down. That's what we're looking at in terms of upfront costs when it comes to our production. We're obviously going to have continuous costs moving forwards, things that are bought on repeat, like the ingredients that we're going to be using, obviously. Looking at, those ingredients, it's going to be really important for us here at Zumi Chunks to do a great job of vetting out all of our suppliers, and making sure that, we're not only checking the box in terms of what price points we need to hit to keep ourselves financially viable, but also making sure that we're getting quality ingredients and quality product. That way we can produce a quality product and continue to have the retention that we're going to need amongst our customer base. If we start cutting too many corners and the product suffers in terms of quality, our consumer base is also going to dip, because again, this is a niche market. It's not something where we're winning on price in terms of getting our product sold, and that's obviously one of the challenges facing our marketing team, but we have a lot of confidence in the plan that we have, and I really think that we're going to be successful moving forwards. Looking at the margins in terms of producing these recipes, those Dutch ovens that I brought up earlier, they can fit somewhere close to 10 servings of our dog food as it's being produced. Looking at it from that point of view, we get 10 servings, each of them being sold at $10.50. Gets us about $105 in terms of gross profit off of each recipe that we're producing. Based on estimates, looking at sites like meat and catering, butcher shops, looking at different companies like that in terms of getting our scrap meat, looking at online platforms like Webstaurant Store to get things that we'll need on repeat, like the rice and the other grains that we're looking at, and then going to wholesale department stores like a Costco and Sam's and Trader Joe's to get the other things that we need. Looking at those different suppliers, we're estimating somewhere between $7 and $10 to produce each batch of our or each recipe or each batch of our recipe. When we're able to produce it at such a low cost and then resell it with almost 1,000% increase in terms of return on investment, we have a lot of room to play with this. Going into the market not knowing how people are going to react to the product, it is possible that that price point is going to have to be adjusted. Looking at the quality of the ingredients, once we're able to get them in hand, it is possible that our cost for production or cost of the ingredients going into it could increase. And so having such a wide margin there is really it's nothing but a benefit to us. And that's why I say that production could be such a great area of opportunity for us, because if we're able to find quality products and produce our product, or quality ingredients, and produce our product at this price point, there really is no limitation to the return on investment we could be seeing in terms of a percentage. Looking at 1,000% return is huge. Obviously, that's going to be tapered off by things like overhead costs, distribution costs, maintenance of the different equipment that we're using for packaging and sealing, cleaning supplies, things like that. But just looking on production, or looking at the production department itself, the margins that we're seeing are very, very promising, and we think that it can be a great asset of us here at Zumi Chunks to have those margins and to have that flexibility with our price point.
Sales and Marketing Research, Riley Rudio. How will you market the product? Zumi Chunks plans to develop 4 successful prototype recipes of beef, chicken, turkey, and lamb. These recipes will serve as the foundation of the product and will be marketed through a social media presence, on platforms like Facebook to reach a large target audience at a relatively low cost. In addition to the online approach, the company plans to have a physical presence in the local community by attending farmers markets, fairs, and pet symposiums. They also plan to work with local veterinarian clinics to acquire small refrigerators and place the product in highly visible areas. Along with the marketing strategies mentioned earlier, Zumi Chunks plans to work with local veterinarians, pet experts to get recommendations and endorsements for their product. This will help build trust and credibility with the potential customers as they will have a better understanding of the nutritional and safety of the product. Additionally, the company plans to continuously collect customer feedback and make necessary improvements to their product to meet the changing demands of their customers. Who are the customers? Zumi Chunks understands that the pet owners want to find the best possible dog food options for their furry loved ones, which is why they have created a product that is organic, safe, and nutritionally balanced. Our intended customers are people who prioritize their pets and invest in high-quality dog food. Who are our competitors? Big players like Purina, Mars Pet Care, and the Hills Pet Nutrition, which collectively control more than 50% of the market share. Niche brands like Blue Buffalo, Taste of the Wild, and Orahen that focus on premium and national ingredients, private label store brands like Kroger, Walmart, and Costco that offer more affordable options. To differentiate ourselves, we plan to focus on offering high-quality natural ingredients that are not found in other brands, providing professional and personalized nutrition plans based on the dog's breed, age, and health conditions, and creating a strong brand identity that resonates with dog owners who value their pets as members. How did we find our target market? We found them with the use of a blend of online and offline marketing approaches, establishment of a social media presence, participation in local events, collaboration with local pet professionals, and the distribution of marketing materials. The importance of customer feedback in discovering potential customers. What is your marketing geographic area? We will start locally to focus on building a strong customer base within our community. As we expand our business and increase sales, we will broaden our marketing efforts to reach customers outside of the immediate area. The ultimate goal is to offer our product to customers across a wider geographic region by shipping directly to their doorsteps. We will create engaging content, run social media ads, collaborate with influencers, host contests and giveaways, and respond to customers' inquiries and comments to increase brand awareness and sales. We can create high-quality photos and videos of our product and dogs enjoying our product, along with informative and entertaining captions that will engage our audience. We can run targeted social media ads. We can collaborate with popular dog influencers. We can host social media contests and giveaways to encourage people to follow our accounts and share our content. We can actively engage with our followers on social media by responding to their inquiries and comments in a timely and friendly manner. Our overall marketing strategy and plan. Our objective is to promote Zumi Chunks and build brand awareness among potential customers. Our target market is dog owners who prioritize their pets' health and well-being and are looking for a quality dog food brand. Our geographic area will initially focus on local marketing efforts in our city and gradually expand to nearby areas and regions as our business grows. Our marketing strategies include social media marketing, attending local events, collaboration with local vets and pet experts, distributing marketing materials and collecting customer feedback, and using social media promotion tactics. How will you see visual merchandising with the product packaging? We plan to invest in high quality packaging designs that is both visually appealing and informative. We will ensure that our packing materials are of high quality and provide sufficient protection for the product during shipping and handling. What local events can we set up to foster early demand? One way to stimulate early demand for our product is by participating in local events. By offering samples and connecting with potential customers at these events, we can establish relationships that will give us an edge over competitors who may not be putting as much effort into their marketing campaigns. By attending these events, we hope to build a strong foundation of loyal customers and gain traction in our local market. What is our budget for our first 3 months marketing-wise, and a monthly breakdown? In terms of specific expenses, for local event fees, we will spend about $100 per event, attend at least 2 events per month. So that will equate to $600 for the first 3 months. Printed marketing materials, posters, business cards, etc. We'll spend about $150, and it'll be a one-time expense until we run out. And finally, paid social media advertising will be $200 a month, so $600 for the first 3 months. Thank you.
Project. The first question that we had to tackle was what channel of distribution would we be using and how are we going to deliver? The channel of distribution that we decided to use is the direct distribution channel, which is where the manufacturer sends the product directly to the customer. We found that this would make the most sense because we're creating the product in-house and the customers are purchasing the product from us directly, so it makes the most sense currently for us to send it to them. Our second question that we had to tackle was what obstacles are there. Our first obstacle is that we're over budget. We either have to borrow money, dip into personal savings, or get a bank or business loan to make up for the additional necessary costs. Being over budget during this stage is challenging since we are not currently making any profit to make up for us being over budget. Our second obstacle is our price point. On average, a can of dog food costs $1 per can and $12 per 12-pack. A single can of Zumi Chunk costs about $10.50. Our solution for this is that we'll need to make sure that we're reaching our target market through the correct marketing channels and emphasizing the benefits of our food over our competitors. We also must ensure that our messaging emphasizes that our food is the best for our customers' dogs. Another obstacle that we have is our price point. Our price point is a little high and may be challenging to sell these products during an economic downturn. When the economy is great, people have more of a disposable income and are more willing to spend money on things that may not be a necessity or something that is a little bit nicer. And when we're in an economic downturn, like we are currently, people are less willing to spend money on unnecessary items. For some dog owners, expensive dog food may be one of the expenses that they cut out of their budget. Our solution to this is that we must drive home our messaging of having the best dog food on the market and gain customer loyalty through great customer service and community engagement. We can engage our community and customers through community events and outreach and creating a community on our social media platforms, always promoting our company values and commitment to quality. When consumers feel connected and aligned with the brand, they are more willing to stay loyal to the brand and continue to buy from them no matter what.